I made $4,600 in just 10 days recently online with a product I didn't even create myself. And here's the wild part: I didn't start this until I was 52. My 25-year career had just ended and I had zero clue how to make money online. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 5-step strategy that made this all possible using my phone, a laptop, and 2 to 3 hours a day. But before I could make a single dollar, there was one big question I had to ask first: what on earth do I actually sell if I don't have my own product? Which takes me to the first step that I took, and that was choosing the right product. This is where everything started, finding the right product, because unless you do, there's really no business. And this is the part that probably took me the longest to figure out. And I did swap around at the beginning, but once I found the right thing, everything started to click. But like a lot of people, I had been sitting on the sofa late at night, scrolling on social media, typing into Google, how do I make money online? I was feeling pretty lost at that point. But that is when I discovered something called high ticket affiliate marketing, which is simply recommending products or services that other companies have. You probably already use them and love them, and you can earn a commission when someone buys through your unique link. But then through that, I stumbled on something even better: digital products with master resale rights. It's like affiliate marketing, but instead of earning a small commission, you can earn 100% profit reselling a proven digital product that's in high demand. And that's what I started with. I invested in a program, taught me the foundations of how to start an online business properly, how to attract customers, and how to build my business from the ground up with proper foundations, all not having to create anything myself. I just learned, shared what I was doing, and started earning. Once that clicked, everything changed because I realized I did not have to reinvent the wheel. I did not have to create my own product. But even with the right product, I quickly learned something else. It doesn't matter what you sell if no one ever sees it. And that brings me to step two. And that was pick one platform and stick with it, not trying to be all over the place, not doing all five or however many there are now, so many. And I'll tell you right now, picking one made all the difference. Almost having permission to just focus on one just made everything a lot easier. So I started on TikTok because it was free, it was fast to learn, and honestly, it didn't intimidate me as much as the others. So I shared small pieces of my story, how I left my toxic job, starting over at 52, and how I was kind of figuring out this new world away from my career. And slowly views turned into comments, comments turned into followers, and followers turned into sales. Eventually, I added Instagram, and then more recently, I've added YouTube because YouTube videos last forever. We call that evergreen content, meaning that videos you post today can still be working for you months, even years later. So you don't have to overcomplicate it. You do not need a big following, and you don't need to be everywhere. You just pick one platform, stay consistent, and let your story do the heavy lifting. And that's what I did. But there is one thing social media doesn't give you, and that is full control. And that's where the next big shift came in. And that is building your email list. Now, this right here is the secret weapon of every successful online business. Your email list is your biggest asset because here's the truth: social media is what we call borrowed land. If TikTok disappears tomorrow or if Instagram disappears tomorrow, your audience disappears with it. And that's why I started to build an email list. So it's a place where you can stay in touch with your audience. I could connect to my audience no matter what happens. I created a simple free guide, which you can get in a link in the description below this video. And that helped people take the first step towards starting online. And once they joined my emails, which were set up on autopilot, by the way, I started sharing stories, tips, and links to free training that explained the system in more detail. And most of my sales came from those emails. People find out about me from my posts on Instagram, but really the personal connection where we can actually answer questions directly is in my email list. So the email list is your safety net. It's what keeps the business alive when the algorithms change or platforms glitch. Once I had that foundation in place, I needed a way to explain the offer that I had without ever feeling salesy or pushy. So you might be asking yourself, how do you explain your offer without sounding like that person? And the secret answer is that you teach. But here's the part most beginners miss: you do not need to be the expert. When people join my email list, I invite them to watch a free 45-minute web class that explains exactly how the whole system works, how it creates an income daily, potentially over time, and why it's perfect for beginners. And the best part is that that class is taught by the creator of the program, not me. So I don't have to do any selling. I just share my link, let the training and the creator of the program do the explaining. By the end, people have all the clarity they need to decide if it's right for them or not. So no pressure, no hard pitching, no selling to anyone. And once I realized that I didn't need to sell, I just need to share what I already loved, then you can lead with value and people want to know more. But here's the truth: none of that works without this one final piece in place. And it's not what you think. This is the glue that holds everything else together, and that is staying consistent. If you take nothing else from this video, take this next part. It's the real difference between the people who make it and the people who don't. Those that quit and don't stay consistent are destined to fail. There's no way you can succeed. I didn't make my 4,600 in the space of 10 days right away. It happened because I showed up every day for 2 focused hours, even when I doubted myself, even when I had no one following me, when no one saw my videos, and even when it felt like nothing was happening. I'd be filming videos in my garden, answering DMs in my lunch break, checking my emails at night, but slowly that built momentum. And the great thing is the system keeps working for me 24/7, even when I'm not working. And that's when I finally understood that success and getting something started isn't about hustling harder, doing more hours. It's about staying consistent, learning the skills, and just focusing on the skills that matter. And that leads perfectly to what I share in my next video. How can this simple system actually replace a full time income? Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that it's never too late to start over, especially when there are things out there. We live in a digital age, the systems are already built for you. So take what I've shared today and just start. You don't need to create a product, you don't need to master tech. You don't need to work all day. You can just use your story, your laptop, and a couple of hours a day. Because freedom isn't found in another 25-year career. I was 52, I had no plan, and now I have my time freedom. And remember, you can get my Freedom Formula Blueprint in the description below this video. So I'd love to know your biggest takeaways from this video. Drop it in the comments below. I read and reply to every single comment. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And now that you know how I made $4,600 in 10 days, you might be wondering if it is possible to replace a 9 to 5 income altogether. And that's exactly what I break down in this next video up here, because when you combine what you learned today with that, everything starts to click. So I'll see you in the next video.